Think about the woman you want. You've tried humor, kindness, even showing your success, and still, nothing works. It's not because she doesn't like you. It's because you don't understand the rule that governs her heart. Every woman, no matter her age, beauty, or culture, runs on one silent instinct: the search for validation. It's not manipulation, it's biology. Millions of years of evolution designed her to seek approval from the man she perceives as superior. But here's the brutal truth. Most men give that validation away too soon. They feed her ego before earning her interest. And the moment you do that, her heart closes. Machiavelli would have told you, power is never taken, it's surrendered. Every compliment given too early is a surrender. Every attempt to impress is a negotiation for attention. In this video, you'll learn how to reverse that dynamic, how to make her fight for your approval instead. 4 hacks. 1 mindset. Infinite control. Stay until the end, because once you understand this, you'll never chase a woman's attention again. She'll chase yours. Here's the first hack that lets you win a woman's heart intelligently. You must understand her biological programming, because until you do, you'll keep trying to impress what's wired to test you. Every woman you meet, no matter how strong, independent, or mysterious she seems, is driven by one ancient instinct she cannot control. It's not love, it's not security, it's validation. And understanding this is the first move of power. Because if you don't see how deeply this instinct governs her decisions, you'll keep trying to impress her on the surface, while the real game unfolds underneath, inside her subconscious. This programming is not evil, it's survival. For thousands of years, a woman's survival depended on her social acceptance. The tribe's approval meant food, safety, belonging. Rejection meant isolation and death. That instinct never died. It just changed form. Now it lives in likes, comments, compliments, and attention. It hides in the way she checks her reflection before entering a room, or how her voice changes when someone interesting appears. Every gesture whispers the same question: do you see me? And here's what men never realize. That question never stops. It doesn't matter how beautiful she is or how confident she looks. Her mind runs on an endless loop of social evaluation. When you give her validation too easily, you satisfy that loop instantly. The reward cycle completes. Her subconscious gets its hit of dopamine and moves on. It's not cruelty, it's chemistry. Machiavelli would have whispered to you, people seek approval only from those they believe have power. So when you rush to compliment, when you over-explain, when you show your desire too fast, you destroy the illusion of superiority. You turn the chase into comfort, and comfort kills desire. The man who understands her biology doesn't fight it. He uses it. He doesn't starve her of validation. He controls the dosage. He treats validation like gold, rare, valuable, and never distributed without reason. When she feels that your attention is earned, not given, her instinct flips. She begins to work for it. Her subconscious interprets your restraint as strength, your calmness as mystery, your lack of need as dominance. And in that moment, everything reverses. She starts thinking about what she can do to win you, not because you played a trick, but because you finally stopped playing her game and started mastering the one that's been running since the dawn of human psychology. That's the first hack. Never fight her nature. Understand it, respect it, and then lead it. Here's the second hack. You must stop giving validation and start testing for value. Every man is taught from a young age that women respond to effort, that if you show kindness, attention, and consistency, she'll eventually open up. But in the real world of attraction, the opposite happens. The moment she feels she has your validation guaranteed, the game ends. Not because she's cruel, but because her mind works through contrast. Without resistance, there's no spark. Without tension, there's no meaning. When every other man floods her with compliments, likes, and attention, you must become the exception, the one who withholds until there's a reason. Not out of pride, but out of principle. Because what's easily available loses its power. Think about it. Every luxury product, every exclusive club, every powerful leader uses the same law. Scarcity builds desire. The more selective the access, the higher the perceived value. This isn't manipulation. It's simple psychology. Machiavelli would have advised you, those who wish to be loved must make their favor costly. And your validation, your time, your approval, your attention, is that favor. When you give it too soon, it tells her that her presence alone is enough. When you delay it, she subconsciously thinks, this man sees something I can't see yet. What does he value that I haven't shown him? That thought is the seed of attraction. It shifts her focus from being the prize to proving she's worthy, from waiting for your move to chasing your approval. The key, however, isn't to withhold in silence like a statue. It's to test gracefully. Instead of showering her with praise, ask questions that reveal her mindset. What do you usually do when you're not on your phone? Do you ever get bored of attention? Would you rather be admired or understood? These aren't random lines. They are mirrors. They force her to reveal how she thinks, what drives her, what kind of woman she truly is. And each answer gives you data, not to judge, but to decide. Because a man who tests doesn't chase. He observes, he evaluates, and his silence becomes more magnetic than another man's compliments. Soon, she'll start to notice the imbalance. You're not trying to prove yourself, you're calmly assessing her. And that small reversal changes everything. The emotional gravity shifts. She starts investing, adapting, adjusting, because she wants to pass your test. That's the secret few men ever master. You don't win a woman's heart by trying to convince her. You win it by making her convince you. And that, my brother, is how you flip the frame, permanently. Here's the third hack that lets you win a woman's heart intelligently. You must learn to redirect pressure, not absorb it. Every man feels it. That rush in your chest when she walks in, that voice whispering, say something clever, make her laugh, prove you're different. It's not weakness, it's biology meeting conditioning. Society trained men to chase approval. You were told to earn her love through performance, by being nicer, funnier, more impressive. But the truth is brutally simple. The man who tries to impress always loses to the man who evaluates. Pressure is not your enemy. It's a signal, a raw form of energy that you must redirect instead of release. Most men panic under that pressure and use it to seek validation. They talk too much, compliment too early, try too hard, all to silence their own anxiety. But the powerful man channels that energy into observation. He lets her talk. He listens more than he speaks. And as she fills the silence, she begins to feel his composure, that quiet, unshakable stillness that says, I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to understand you. That shift alone changes the entire dynamic. You go from another man trying to be chosen to the man she must qualify herself to. Machiavelli would have urgently told you, he who controls his emotions controls the perception of others. When you remain calm while others crumble, your presence becomes magnetic. Your silence becomes tension, and your composure becomes power. Try this. Next time you feel that pressure, that instinct to prove yourself, don't fight it. Redirect it inward. Breathe deeply, slow your rhythm, and remind yourself, my value isn't up for negotiation. That simple recalibration changes everything about how you move, speak, and look at her. Your tone drops, your pace slows, your eyes stay steady, and suddenly, she starts reacting to you. Women aren't drawn to men who never feel pressure. They're drawn to the few who can stand inside it, untouched. Because that calm doesn't just look powerful, it feels safe. It makes her body relax while her mind wonders, who is this man who doesn't need me to like him? That's when she starts chasing your approval. Not because you withdrew it, but because your restraint showed her something she didn't know she craved. A man who can feel everything and still stay in control. That's the third hack. Don't fight the pressure. Redirect it, and let your composure speak the language of power she was programmed to obey. Here's the fourth hack that lets you win a woman's heart intelligently. You must express your standards strategically, not emotionally. Most men think standards are about declaring what they want. They say, I like confident women, or I don't want drama. But the moment you explain your standards like a wish list, you lose the frame. Because true standards are never announced. They're implied through calm certainty. Your goal isn't to tell her what kind of woman you want. It's to make her realize on her own that she wants to become that woman for you. That's where the 40-60 law comes in. She should already embody about 40% of what you value, but be missing the other 60%. Why? Because tension is born from incompletion. If she feels she's already everything you want, there's no challenge left. But if she's close, yet not quite there, she'll subconsciously crave your validation. You plant the seed with precision. For example, instead of telling her she's beautiful, you say, I really admire women who balance beauty with discipline, the kind who stay consistent, not just motivated. I respect women who can be social, but still know how to disappear and recharge alone. You're not demanding anything. You're describing what naturally attracts you. And as she listens, she starts measuring herself against your words. She begins to wonder, do I fit what he values? Could I become that woman in his world? That's when you stop talking, because silence is the fertilizer of curiosity. Machiavelli would have quietly advised you, reveal just enough to make others act without realizing it was your design. You don't push her toward your standards. You let her walk there herself, thinking it was her idea all along. And when she finally mirrors your values, when she suddenly starts reading more, working out, acting calmer, or showing depth, don't reward her too fast. Acknowledge it subtly. A small nod, a short compliment, then move on. That's how you anchor the behavior without killing the tension. Remember, validation given too soon ends the game. Validation given sparingly builds the addiction. Because what you're really doing isn't manipulation, it's leadership. You're showing her that your attention must be earned through growth, not flattery. That your approval isn't a prize, it's a reflection of shared discipline and value. When you express your standards this way, you stop sounding like a man who wants to control her. You sound like a man who already controls himself. And that's what every woman truly respects, even if she never admits it. That's the fourth hack. Speak your standards not as demands, but as reflections of who you already are. Because the moment she sees that your approval must be earned, she stops trying to impress the world and starts trying to impress you. Here's the fifth hack that lets you win a woman's heart intelligently. You must master the execution of control, not through dominance, but through precision. Because theory without execution is noise. Every man watching this video understands, in some way, that giving too much too soon kills attraction. They nod, they agree, they say, I'll do better next time. But the moment they face a woman they truly want, everything collapses. The discipline vanishes, the frame breaks, and the same pattern repeats. Overinvest, overtalk, overgive. Why? Because they haven't trained their behavioral reflexes to match their intellectual understanding. They know the strategy, but their nervous system is still wired for approval. That's why you need these 5 conditions. They turn psychology into instinct. They turn knowledge into presence. And presence is the ultimate source of power in attraction. Condition 1. The precision of the 40-60 balance. This isn't just theory. It's geometry of desire. When you express your preferences, she must align with about 40% of them and lack the remaining 60%. Why? Because her mind needs unfinished business to stay emotionally engaged. If she matches 100% of your ideal, she feels done, like she already won you. If she matches 0%, she feels rejected. But at 40%, she feels both accepted and challenged. That's the zone where attraction thrives. Every word you say should quietly reinforce that you notice her qualities, but remain undecided. Not playing hard to get, but staying real. Because real power lies in being honestly unimpressed until she proves she's rare. Machiavelli would have warned you in a whisper. The wise never give complete approval. Partial favor creates perpetual loyalty. And that's exactly what this does. It keeps her emotionally invested, trying to bridge the gap between what she is and what you value. Condition 2. Speak from observation, never instruction. Most men ruin the power of standards by sounding like critics. They tell women what they should do, how they should behave, what they should fix. That's not leadership. That's neediness in disguise. A king doesn't instruct. He observes and comments with composure. Instead of saying, "You should be more disciplined," you say, "I respect women who are consistent, not just motivated." Instead of, "You should read more," you say, "I'm drawn to women who stay curious about the world." That's not a command. It's a mirror. And the difference is everything. Because mirrors create reflection, while commands create resistance. Your tone should sound like you're describing your reality, not defending it. That's how a standard becomes a gravitational field. She feels pulled toward it, not pushed. Condition 3. React proportionally, not emotionally. This is where most men lose everything. She says something slightly funny, and they explode in laughter. She gives a simple compliment, and they melt. She texts back, and they overanalyze. Each overreaction broadcasts one thing: need. You must train yourself to react only to the quality of her behavior, not the quantity. If she says something genuinely clever, acknowledge it. If it's average, stay neutral. Let silence do the filtering. Your calm indifference makes her reevaluate her own performance. It creates emotional friction, the sense that she hasn't yet won you. And that feeling, my brother, is the oxygen of attraction. Remember this: validation loses its power when predictable. It gains power when rare. Condition 4. Ask from curiosity, not admiration. When you ask a woman about herself, the reason why you ask changes everything. If your questions come from admiration, she feels adored, but not challenged. If they come from genuine curiosity, she feels seen. Ask because you want to understand her world, not because you're trying to be part of it. What's something you've worked on that nobody noticed? Or what kind of situations bring out your best self? These are not compliments. They are probes. They pull her into self-reflection, a place few men ever take her. And in that silence, when she's thinking deeply, she'll feel your power. Because curiosity is control. It shows you're present, analytical, emotionally grounded. And that steadiness creates tension, not chaos, but curiosity-driven tension, the kind women crave without understanding why. Machiavelli would have quietly advised you, gather information while others seek approval. That's how you win without fighting. Condition 5. Reward with subtlety, not excess. Here's where the real test begins. When she starts making small efforts to impress you, new habits, subtle changes, more focus on you, your instinct will scream to reward her fully. You'll want to say, "That's amazing. You're incredible. You're perfect." Resist it. Instead, reward in whispers, a small nod, a slow smile, a short acknowledgement that keeps her wondering if she's done enough. That's how reinforcement becomes addictive. because unpredictability triggers emotional persistence. Psychologists call it intermittent reinforcement, the same principle that keeps people addicted to gambling, chasing unpredictable rewards. But here's the difference. You're not manipulating her for control. You're calibrating her effort to match her value. You're building mutual investment, not dependency. This balance between scarcity and sincerity is where true attraction lives. When you execute these 5 conditions together, you stop being reactive. You start being intentional, and your energy shifts from hoping she likes me to evaluating if she's worth me. That shift isn't arrogance, it's alignment. Because when you control your reactions, your tone, and your timing, you don't just hold her interest, you reprogram her instincts. And that, my brother, is the essence of control. Not forcing outcomes, but shaping them quietly, through precision, timing, and self-command. Most men will never master this. They'll keep chasing, pleasing, and explaining, thinking love is earned by effort. But you now know the truth. Attraction isn't built by trying harder. It's built by holding stronger. You've learned how to shift the frame, how to use silence, how to make your validation worth gold. That's not manipulation. That's mastery. Because when your actions come from self-respect, not fear, you don't take power from women. You give them something real to rise to. Machiavelli would have been proud of this kind of power. Calm, controlled, and rooted in purpose. The man who leads with integrity doesn't chase hearts. He attracts them naturally because his approval means something. If you've made it here, understand this. You're already ahead of 99% of men. You just have to stay consistent. Keep training your composure, keep raising your standards, and never trade your power for attention. Because when you stop begging to be chosen, you become the man every woman quietly hopes to be chosen by. Stay sharp, stay disciplined, and remember, the real game starts when you no longer need to play it. If this opened your eyes and you're serious about becoming the man who's in full control of his life, my book is now available. The Undeniable Man, Built to be Chosen. It's a strategic guide for men who want to attract, lead, and dominate in their love life and beyond. Whether you're single or in a relationship, no fluff, no tricks, just pure, powerful strategy that will set you apart from 99% of men, and that you will actually use every day. The link is in the description. And if this video spoke to you, don't just keep your thoughts in your head. Write a comment, even just a few words. It helps you remember these lessons, and it might help someone else too. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this content, and share it with someone who, in your eyes, needs it right now. Just trust your instinct. We're all trying to get clearer, more solid inside. So let's build minds that don't break.